Hi guys, when the issue of the treatment of asylum seekers comes up, the right wing will always ask, why aren't we doing something for our own? Then they will go on a tirade about how homeless people should be prioritised over refugees, how the government should be doing more for our own people. When the conditions are terrible, however, they will explain how the refugees should be happy and should just shut up. The right wing will then say that others have it worse, and if they still don't like it, well, the refugees should simply go back to their own country. This narrative is not about fixing a problem, it's about dividing people. Rishi Sunak himself is literally supporting a policy to divide and rule. This was perfectly pointed out by writer Grace Blakeley when she clashed with some gammon. Have a listen.
A lot of it is resentment from people who've been here all their lives and the state of the accommodation they're given. Housing associations in this country are culpable for some of the worst housing we've ever had. You see it in central London. I mentioned Chelmsford before. In Chelmsford, a housing association where the mould was coming through the roof, whilst people who've come here to seek asylum are being put up in luxury.
Yeah, but
I think this argument is such a red herring because it's used often by actually people within the government to say, oh, we need a harsher stance on migrants, who then do absolutely nothing to improve the actual situation faced by poor people across the country.
But would you be in favour of spending more time on the life of poor people in this country than you do on migrants?
It's a divide and rule tactic used by the rich and the powerful to say, hate those people over there. Don't focus on the fact that we've got millionaires who have 5 houses. Focus on the fact that there's a migrant over there living on a barge.
We have very few millionaires and we have lots of people.
We've got lots of millionaires, actually.
Well,
we've got loads of billionaires
You say
as well.
lots, but we've got hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people living in terrible accommodation in this country, and they are of the opinion that their problems should be looked after first before other people coming to this country.
All right.
But the government isn't looking after the migrants, and it's not looking after the poor either. It's looking after its mates, basically, who are the rich and the powerful.
All right.
That's the problem.
Exactly. Now, what I find interesting is, can you imagine for a moment if the British government decided we're going to put a single mother with 3 children into a luxury apartment? What do you think the right-wingers would say about that? Would they say, well done, that's great? Or would they be complaining about, why are you putting this person into a luxury apartment? Why are you putting them into some sort of accommodation that's unfitting for them in a way that it's actually benefiting them in some way? No, they should be made to work. They should be punished for their poverty. This is so when it comes to, and you'll always hear this argument, when it comes to refugees, they'll say, why aren't we looking after our own? And then as soon as you change it to, well, let's look after our own, they're saying, well, no, we don't need to do that. They should be working, or they're lazy, or they're just living off benefits, or they're just gaming the system. So there'll always be someone to point the finger at. And it will always be somebody who has no power. When it's refugees, it will be about dividing the working class from the refugees. If it's the working class, it'll be about dividing the working class from the middle class. This is how it works. This is divide and rule. Convince people who have something to be angry with people who have less than them. Convince people who have less to be angry with people who have nothing. Convince the working class, poor people, to be angry with refugees. Not angry with the government, not angry with the people who are avoiding paying taxes, who are truly gaming the system. Don't be angry with people with offshore bank accounts. You even heard it here. The guy was, oh, there are not that many millionaires. There are not that many billionaires. That's not the point. The point is, these people have huge amounts of wealth, and this wealth is not being taxed in order to help people. Now, would this guy be supportive of more taxes to provide support for homeless people or people in emergency accommodation? I highly doubt it. I can guarantee you probably find another clip of him talking about how people should be forced off benefits and into jobs. If there are people who are living in flats with 3 kids, they should be punished in some way. I presume this guy also supports the bedroom tax. So once again, it's a case of divide and rule. Convince people who have something to be angry with people who have less, and to convince people who have almost nothing to be angry with people who have nothing. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.